Alright, welcome to Nomad Outdoors. First educational video. Today we're going to teach you how to make a really simple campfire using modern technology, a little bit here and there, but the same concept still holds true for building a primitive fire, survival fire. We're going to use TP fire, and we'll use a little bit of newspaper. As opposed to we're going to use newspaper and a lighter. Normally in primitive situations you'd have to make yourself a nice hot coal and put it in a tinder bundle, bundle that tinder bundle up and stuff it into your teepee fire. So we are going to do the same theory, the same concept. We're just not going to go with all the difficult part of it. Now I've already kind of done a lot of the basics. Breaking the wood down into small pieces. Generally you want to start with things that are really small twigs first, or split up dry pine. White pine works for me. If you got extra wood, build projects at the house and you're got some wood left over, save that 1-inch white pine, 6x1s or 4x1s, whatever the case may be, and throw it in your camper, throw it in your camping gear, and you got something you can split up for kindling wood. So as you can see here, I already split the wood up into small pieces, a little bit bigger pieces, a little bit bigger pieces, and then what goes on top. So already got my my newspaper piled in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more newspaper, build it up a little bit, and then show you how to get this going. Now what you can see that I've done here, I basically built a teepee around these scraps of newspaper that are in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to light the newspaper on fire, and because of the way the teepee fire burns, it pulls oxygen from underneath the low section and forces it up towards the top, and it continually builds on itself. And as the hot embers fall down, it makes yourself a nice little hot bed of coals, and you continue to build on it. So I'm going to try and set this camera up in a way that I can get you a good view what I'm going to do here without setting myself on fire. Alright, we're going to see how this is going to work for us. I might have to add a little bit of oxygen flow here and there. It's a little damp out today, so not exactly quite sure how this is going to work for me, but we're going to see. I got that little space that's right there. That's the little opening. Whoops. Get in there. And it's not working so well. So what I'll try to do is put a little bit more wood on here now without trying to smoke out the fire. Being that it's in a pit, it has a tendency to smother the fire without a lot of oxygen getting into it. There we go. Now that we got this little bitty fire going, we're going to take the neck size sticks, and we're going to take those neck size sticks and build those up on top of this. Now that'll slowly keep cooking, and that'll, as long as I keep feeding as long as I keep feeding sticks onto that and keep the sticks burning, I'll have you a nice little campfire here in a little while. I'll give you some stop motion photographies over time. Get an idea how it looks. Now the big thing is dealing with collapse. So we got to keep, we got to keep that TP appearance to it, as it continually allows the fire to build from the bottom to the top. As you can see, I've already had like a partial collapse, added a little bit bigger sticks on it, but we're getting along, and we'll get her going. Once these fall down, I'll stack some more up on top of it. Now, as you can see, I've added some bigger sticks to it, so I've progressively built that up. Now remember, this just started with 4 or 5 pieces of newspaper, and split my wood down the right way, use dry wood, make sure that got going. So I'm going to continue to nurture this one. All fires, you have to take in consideration they're like a little kid. You have to slowly build them up till they till they get nice, big, strong, and healthy. So I'm going to keep nursing this fire along, and keep you a couple more videos to see how easy this is. The biggest problem that you have with I'll try to get down here a little bit better. Biggest problem that you have with building campfires, especially on regulated campgrounds, is that you have to build it in this pit, and it just doesn't get enough oxygen. It'd be a little bit better if you could have a little bit more airflow in there. Like open one side of it, because ideally you want to have the kind of a reverse pit to allow the hot embers to roll towards the center. But ideally it also has a tendency to smother the fire, so you dig yourself a little trench to give a little free flow oxygen. So it gets a little bit tricky, but we keep it going along. Well, we're now pretty much getting to the final phase of this. I finally got to where I put some bigger fuel on there, bigger fire. Obviously the smoke changes direction, and it's killing my eyes. But that's your basic campfire. Started with a lighter, some newspaper. Doesn't need gasoline, doesn't need fire starters, doesn't need a whole heck of a lot of stuff. So you take this basic concept and break it down into even simpler terms, and start practicing with primitive fire starting methods. Learn how to make a tinder bundle, learn how to flint and steel, learn how to use friction fire, all different sorts, so that in survival situation you'd be able to figure it out. This just makes us a nice little campfire for Nomad Outdoors camping trip, and we'll see you probably a little bit later. I'll get some more loaded up on here and nice going, and cook some steaks over this bad boy today. I've got a nice little primitive cooking outfit here. I'll wedge this in there and put this over the fire when I get some nice hot coals, and I'll sit over the top of that, cook my steaks with a glass of wine, and hopefully everything goes good. Well, there's our campfire making item, or our campfire making video. Bottom line, we got things going, got a good campfire. You keep a couple of flat sticks like this. Helps you to pick things in and out of the fire. Your teepee falls over, you can pick up some sticks, sandwich them together. There's what we call walking a fine line between living primitively and living in modern times, and I like to walk right on the fence. So we do the best that we can. Hey, how about that for a video? Different angle, but we call it the ghost dog. Walking that fine line between being primitive outdoorsmen and modern outdoorsmen. Kind of like a coyote, right there on the fringe. Okay, we got our baked potatoes stuffed in there. They're cooking away. We're about ready to throw our steaks on there. So this fire's kind of built up to be about what you're looking for to cook some steaks. So, there you go. Don't get much better than that. Now we're going to throw some steaks on there. Got our baked potatoes cooking in there, and we're primitively cooking. Rock on. Now we're talking. And there's the end result. Nice hot coals. Probably will stoke that up in the morning. Make a nice morning fire out of it. Cook some breakfast on it. So, doesn't get much better than that right there.
Yeah, if you can.
It's ideal. Keep it going. I'll throw a couple more logs on it, and that'll be it for the night.